Yes, peace, shalom. How's everybody doing out there? Just want to sit there and talk about a subject matter very briefly concerning the issue of people who like to snap on or disrespect people based upon clothing. Now, you have people out there who want to sit there and state that Israelites are dressed up like Power Rangers. And so, what a brother such as myself was basically compelled to do at that point was to look up what the Power Rangers were about. And what I found out is that the Power Rangers was a group of males and females coming together from different places, and they all dressing similar, forming a team and debating, battling, going against their enemies and becoming successful and such. That's what Power Rangers do in that particular show. So while you're trying to snap on or disrespect the Israelites by saying, oh, y'all look like a bunch of Power Rangers, that's what hating does. Because as you pointing the finger at someone else, you got three pointing back at yourself. And what you've done indirectly then is actually complimented the Israelites on the low without even realizing it. What you're saying basically is that there are different Israelites coming from different places, dressing up like a group of Power Rangers and going against those who are against them and becoming successful. That's basically what you're saying. While you're trying to insult the Israelites, you actually compliment the Israelites. See, that's what hating does. It blocks your vision and causes you to say things that you really don't mean to say. You did not mean to compliment the Israelites, but while you're hating in your spirit about the Israelites, you have to sit there and try to take a quote unquote shot, which is a cheap shot, about basically talking about another man's clothing. What man does that about another man? It is a feminine thing to sit there and try to snap on or talk about other girls' clothing and so forth and so on. We have to ask, what type of caliber of man does that kind of act? Where you actually sit there and try to take out time to snap on or disrespect or insult somebody based upon their clothing. That's not what men do. That's what some females do. So when you have a male that's acting in accordance to the way a female will act, what do you say of that male? I'm going to leave that one alone. So now, I spoke to some brothers who are coming from different Israelite schools about their particular clothing. And each and every single thing that they basically wear, they can biblically trace and understand if you get right down into it. The gold that you see the people wear, where that comes from, the book of Exodus. The purple and the scarlet also coming out of the book of Ezekiel. The issue of wearing what they call those studs and so forth and so on coming out of the book of Songs of Solomon. The Israelites that you see wearing white, basically speaking about how Ecclesiastes says, let thy garments remain white and your hair lack no ointment. So biblically, brothers and sisters, the Israelites can sit there and explain why they dress the way in which they dress. And when you see the Israelites dressing the way that they dress, they usually come in a uniform fashion. The police department comes in a uniform fashion. Schools that have their children dressed in a particular uniform are usually better academically than schools that have their children dressed any old other kind of way. The fire department has a particular form of dress. When you go in for a job interview, there is a particular form of dress. Let's say there's a group of people outside of an office for a job interview. You may as well say they all wearing a particular uniform for whatever particular job that may be. So what dressing a certain way does, it shows what you call uniformity. It shows what you call having togetherness. That right there is very, very, very important. Unity and togetherness. And that's why schools who try to push for uniforms, that's one of their arguments. Like, it will be less distractions because you will sit there and have everyone basically dressed the same. So getting back to the point, about the type of people who try to snap on or disrespect Israelites based upon clothing is very, very ridiculous. It's very feminine. It's very unmanly. It's effeminate, you may say, to do such a thing. So, in closing this particular subject, it's an unwise thing to do to try to snap on another man's clothes when you are a man. Peace.